Hello, I'm Dr. Jester, and welcome to the jungle. Games journalists, and, voice actors, and, triggered nobodies, they definitely tend to be a little bit on the crazy side for some absolute weird reason. Maybe it's the water, or maybe it's the food they eat. Who knows at this point? But anyway, from the gamer, the cesspool on the internet, storylines have been cut. Baldur's Gate 3 actor warns that diversity is being removed from some games. Is it? Well, let me put it this way. Using some of their excuse, hey, let us have this, it's just a tiny little thing, why can't you let us have this? The game is not made for you, and it's just a tiny little thing, it's nothing. It's not even going to hurt you, just removing this garbage storyline. See? See how two can play this game? But here is the most important bit. 99% of the woke games have failed spectacularly. Not only because they include woke stories, but because they include woke developers who fail at basic gameplay mechanics, programming, and art. So, if you see woke stuff in the game, there's a very good chance that the game itself may be problematic and badly coded and other things like that. It's not always the case, because most of the developers, as in the coders itself, they tend not to be woke, crazy woke idiots. Albeit they do tend to sometimes, but it's overall, I think it's mostly not. And they need those to be able to release the game. But the thing is that when they infect a game, it tends to destroy it. Very few with, high percentage of wokeness, like Baldur's Gate 3, survive. Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 is not woke, because a lot of the game content was made before the push for wokeness on Act 3. And even so, it's still not that woke. Let's say it's contaminated, yes, but it is not woke. It's kind of like you picking up a glass of water, one being clear, completely devoid of wokeness, maybe distilled water would be the case, and the other, you pick it up and you see quite a few stuff floating around. That would be Baldur's Gate 3. I think that's a good analogy, but let's go and read this, because this is a very, very, very bad written article. But then again, it's a games journalist, so what did you expect, right? Anyway, ever since Donald Trump won in 2024 US presidential election, companies and their executives were quick to try and curry favor with the president. Technically, no, because they realized that people are really not into it. And it's something that they've noticed even before Trump was elected. But here is a quick thing for you to understand. Trump is not the causal effect of this, but the result, the effect. As in, people are pissed off with a lot of these things going on, not only on our entertainment, but in our daily lives, in work, everywhere else, where discrimination against race, sexual preference, and gender seems to be the common thing within the woke crowd. As in, for instance, they will give you preference to people who are black or women or the alphabet over a job that they are less qualified for against a straight white male. So this is why people are tired. Because, for instance, if the straight white male is more qualified, he should be the one to get hired. If a gay black man or a gay black woman is more qualified, then that gay black woman should be hired. This is the beautiful thing about meritocracy. It does not discriminate based on gender, sexual preference, or race, not even religion. If you're good, you're gonna get hired. But the woke crowd started with the racism, discrimination against gender, against sexual preference, even religion itself. So, yeah, we're all tired of it. Anyway, continuing. Where did I stop? Oh, yeah, they included ditching the DEI or DIE initiatives and policies, which even more companies later joined them on. Following an anti-DIE executive order from Trump. Now, actually, that executive order is only for the government to stop hiring people based on race, sexual preference, and gender, and to hire them based on merit. Merit is not racist, not genderphobic or whatever, or alphabetophobic. While many of these initiatives were strictly about hiring practices, the sentiment behind the shift in policy was felt everywhere. With the rise, here is the kicker, with the rise in racist, transphobic, and other bigoted laws and attitudes across the United States and beyond. Please quote me the law that is racist, transphobic, or other bigoted laws in the US that was enacted after Trump. Show me. As far as I know, and as far as I have seen, those laws that were actually transphobic, actually racist, were stricken down against, when he ditched the DIE initiatives. It's very different, isn't it? But before I continue, here's something awesome. Baby, yeah. Oh yeah, baby. Right. Now it seems that the gaming industry is not immune to these either. Speaking with me in an interview with will be published tomorrow, actor Samantha Beard, who played Carla in Baldur's Gate 3, tells me that they are already aware of the game devs who have had their work censored. Oh, now it's censored. Oh, God, before it wasn't. I remember them telling me that it was just a choice. It's not censorship if it's not done by the government. See how things work? Yeah, I'm definitely using your excuses against you right now. And more so, they intend to sell the game. If they include regressive woke ideologies, then people will definitely not buy, except a very tiny minority. I mean, like the 6 or 12 people who still buy those games. Good example, a Veilguard. Another example, a woke Avowed. There you go, Avowed. Avowed. Those games failed spectacularly. Other examples of woke diversity that failed: Shadows, and Dustborn, and other garbage. Oh, Red Veil? Redfall. I don't even remember. It was from Arcane. Yeah, sad to see such a nice developer fall like that. But here we are. One moment. the cuff button. Right. Where was I? Oh yeah. Tells me that they are already aware of game devs who had their work bowed down, as the industry appears to be bowing down to the regressive politics of Trump's second term. What regressive politics are you talking about? Nothing that he has done has been regressive. In fact, he took down regressive ideologies of discriminating people against gender, against race, and against sexual preference. He struck down those laws in government side of things. So this is not regressive. In fact, it's actually progressive. Why do you want to return to the 1920s and 1950s in which people discriminated against sexual preference, gender, and skin color? Why do you want the return of those things? Ah, yes, because it's done for the proper reasons, as in the proper discrimination. These woke people are all absolutely insane and racist and etc. But anyway, here is what the actress said. Without exposing devs, I know that's happening. The storylines have been cut. Historically, appeasement is a really bad thing. Oh yeah, Godwin law. And this is the thing. We appease you morons. And what did you do? You took a mile. You took, well, a light year. I'll say astronomical unit, but in this case a light year was enough. You guys took it all and destroyed the game's IPs, many companies. Hey, remember Saints Row? Volition? The guys who gave us, let's see, oh yeah, free space. Oh, free launch, was it free space? I have a box of it right here, right on top of this monitor and camera right here. You destroyed it with wokeness. People did not want that garbage. You hired woke people to make the game. You hired people to do everything and the storyline, and it sucked completely. So, appeasement doesn't work. Good example, you guys. Right, here is one called the coping. Indies exist, and people can write, and communities will get together, and we'll absolutely get through this together. No. You can make your games, you can make all your indie stuff. We are going to mock it, because it's not going to generate the sales, but please leave the IPs that were established as non-mock alone, like Baldur's Gate, Fallout, and many others in which you people have tried to ruin by shoving that rainbow flag everywhere. I am tired of it, everybody is tired of it, and we can see that on the sales of those games. Here's another coping stuff. Here, this also comes amid the revival of the Gamergate movement, which is seeing developers, journalists, and many others in the game industry harassed online. Yeah, that's BS. They are not being harassed. What is happening is that the games journalists and other idiots are actually harassing the gamers. It's completely and utterly the other side. It's called projections. They are projecting. And this, my friends, is what these idiots do best. Weaponized hypocrisy, doublethink, and projection. It seems to be a prerequisite for you to be a leftist to have a doublethink. Be a hypocrite and project. And this is a good example. Gamergate 2 all happened because one of the idiots of those consultancy agencies decided to cancel a gamer, to even take down his entire Steam account. It all began there. Anyway, continuing. It also means we often see the argument that games with characters that are non-white or queer will sell poorly. That's not the case. It's the wokeness. For instance, Assassin's Creed Shadows, it sold poorly because it's a world where the black guy just feels completely wrong in there. And it's something that we don't even know if he actually existed, save for 2 or 3 letters from some Jesuit. And Ubisoft decided to make a whole game around him. Well, we expected, a Japanese guy, and then they actually insulted one of the most beloved empresses in Japan and Japan itself, so yeah. But no, it doesn't mean it's going to be woke because it includes a black character. Good example of that is Jesus Christ, GTA, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. It's my favorite GTA. I think every single GTA after it has been a massive downgrade. Not only in content of the story, but in the size of the world and stuff. So, was that woke? No, not even a tiny little bit. It's a character who just happens to be black. The problem is that the woke crowd is doing characters who are black, but everything resounds around that stuff on his race. Everything is about that. The same thing with transgender and gay characters and women. It's all about their womenness, all about their immutable characteristics. We don't want that. We want a character, a hero, or somebody who does something who just happens to be either gay, who just happens to be black, or who just happens to be a woman. Examples: Heavy Metal Fuck or Tomb Raider, all of those things. But these people don't seem to realize that, and to make a point, the idiot here then quotes Baldur's Gate 3 as an example to disprove that woke games don't sell. Once again, I explained this at the beginning of the video, that Baldur's Gate is not a woke game, but it is infected, or at least has some contamination of wokeness in it. But it still does not make it woke. So, on that hellish hell, have a cheery bye.